Hi and welcome to Chandu.org. In this video, we are going to talk about how to highlight user selection with conditional formatting. Now, this might seem like a bit of technical topic, but let me give you some background and when you would require this kind of a thing. Let us say you are building a dashboard or a complex report, and that report has a lot of things going on along with some interactive component. Let us say your user can pick some sort of a selection from a bunch of option buttons or a slicer or something like that. Now when your users make a selection, obviously your dashboard would change. It will show some new information or new numbers or update the charts. But at the same time, your users are also looking for some kind of a feedback. The fact that they have made a selection change and accordingly the dashboard is updated. They are looking for some sort of a visual cue or some such thing confirming that the selection change has occurred. And this is where you can highlight whatever, for example, if the report is for multiple regions and user picks a region, you can highlight that region name or wherever that region name is shown, you could show that in a different color, so that your users will instantly know that, okay, this is what I'm changing. And that can be a very powerful way and a very elegant user-friendly manner in which you can introduce the user selection highlighting into your report. So I'm going to show you two case studies and refer to them and try to use these ideas in your workbook or whenever you're building a report or dashboard. If you want to grab a copy of the example file that is showed in this video, please head over to Chandu.org. The link for this workbook, the workbook is mentioned in the YouTube description of this video. Alternatively, if you are already on Chandu.org, just scroll down the page a bit and you will find the download link. So let's jump into the file here, and I'm going to just collapse the ribbon so I can show you what I have here. Let us say you're looking at some sort of a dashboard where you can pick one of the projects, and depending on what project is picked, some details will be shown here. Now my intention is to not show the entire dashboard, so I haven't built anything here. I leave the white space to your imagination. Fill it up with something that is flashy and nice. And whenever user picks a project, this particular area changes. But to give a visual cue that they are selecting something, when you select, instantly you can highlight that in a different color. This is achieved with conditional formatting, obviously. So what we do is we grab, whenever you click on this, these are all option buttons which are linked to a cell here, so you know which option button is picked. And in the background, we determine which rows should be highlighted if project 3 is picked using some simple formula. So we know that row number 11 and 12 need to be highlighted. So we write a conditional formatting rule on this range that simply asks Excel, hey, is this cell on row number 11 or 12? If so, please fill it up with yellow color. And we apply the conditional formatting only for these 3 columns and that much range. Okay, so we apply it only for that range, and that way what happens is the coloring will not happen outside that range, and you will get this. Now I'm not going to show you the conditional formatting rule behind that. That is leaving to you as a homework assignment. You can figure it out. In case you can't figure it out, download the workbook and examine the rule. But this is one case study where user selection can be highlighted, and that can provide a very strong visual feedback as to what's going on in your workbook and help your users understand and use your files better. Now this is more like a selection through a form control, and the selection happens and highlighting happens within the workbook. What if you have a chart? I have another example here. This is a chart, and right now the selection would happen through a slicer. If I pick a slicer, you can see that again the highlighting is changing, reflecting what project I have picked. Okay, again I choose some charts that are very simplistic. But the idea here is very simple. If you are using a bar or a column chart, for a bar chart, what you would do is you make the chart. There are many ways to highlight this. I'm showing you one of the ways. You select the chart and you make it transparent by filling it with no fill and outlining with no outline. Okay. Likewise, that's the chart area. You need to do the same steps for plot area as well. fill it with no fill, and outline with no outline. Once that is done, you essentially have a transparent chart. Whatever is behind the chart, that will show through as well, provided the chart has white space anywhere. So then what we would do is we simply apply conditional formatting rules for the cell range behind the chart. Okay, so I have selected that range and I just applied conditional formatting on it. That simply says, okay, if project 6 is picked, highlight the row number 6. If project 9 is picked, highlight row number 9 through the conditional formatting. This is the selection is happening through slicer. Slicer will tell me which is picked through a pivot table, and we simply highlight that. So this is how you can build a dashboard or a chart or a report wherever there is a selection scenario happening. User can make a choice like picking option box or selecting something from data validation or form controls or slicers or whatever. You can provide a little bit of highlighting. Don't go overboard, just choose something that is simple and convincing enough and use it so that your users will know which aspect of the report has changed and how that looks in comparison with others. Okay, so that's it for now. I hope you enjoyed this particular technique. This is a very powerful way to make your dashboards user friendly, and if you want to grab the file, please visit chandu.org or look at the link in the description of this video. Also, if you enjoy this video, please give me a thumbs up on YouTube and consider signing up for our YouTube channel. Thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you again soon. Bye bye.